Speaking of Super Tuesday, party ballots and electoral colleges, some of the terms can be confusing no matter what your age. And that's why political science experts from Texas A&M Kingsville stopped by Agua Dulce Elementary School to explain how exactly the electoral college works to a group of fifth graders. Our James Ayala was there.
I think it's important that kids understand how our democratic processes are designed from early on.
Mrs. Barron's fifth grade class was studying politics from the pre-Civil War era when her students were having a hard time understanding how exactly Abraham Lincoln was elected president when he lost the popular vote.
As we were discussing it, the principal walked in, Ms. Lopez walked in, and she says, "That always confuses me too."
Principal Lopez then asked the political science department at Texas A&M Kingsville to help familiarize students with the election process and the importance of the electoral college.
It all depends on the electoral college on who actually gets to go to the White House.
I feel like it's kind of fair, but not really that fair.
I think everyone's vote matters.
The school hopes that by the kids understanding politics, it will also inspire their parents to go out and vote.
And they were very, very understanding. They could grasp everything very well. I think they're all ready for college.
In the end, the students were informed and understood our election process better. James Ayala, 3 News.